continue doing videos on how they actually work. I guess that's the question we're starting to get more and more. How good are they? How do they work in real world application? So these dirt piles have been here for probably 2 years. It's clay, it's hard stuff. I've been working out of here for about an hour, knocked about 4 or 5 loads in, and it's, like I said, it's tight knit stuff. So I'm just going to show you guys running, driving, operating, picking, and I'm absolutely going to bounce it around because I'm going to fill that bucket up and I'm going to swing it side to side, and I'm going to do everything you guys are going to do, and honestly try to do more. But if nothing else, you're going to see it running, driving, you're going to see it picking, and the whole deal. So I'm going to fill that bucket up. I'm going to have it at full extension. I'm going to swing it, and I'm going to do stuff you probably shouldn't do, and I'm going to do it the right way and just kind of talk you guys through a little bit of all this. So we're going to give you a run here and show you the BH70D. I'm not going to kill the throttle either, just because there's really no need. Machine this size in another brand is about 54 horsepower, so we already got enough horsepower. We just got to make pressure to the pump. Like I said, I'm going to fill the buckets up, and if you've never worked with clay, it's heavy stuff, and you see there, it'll actually pick my side up. I'm going to work from the side for right now, then I'm going to work straight at it. And the reason that it's picking me up is my boom's at full extension. My blade is not perfectly level here. And then the buckets are full. So, you know, there's hundreds of pounds out there. If you look at that and you see how much weight is in this bucket, that's why when you do stuff like this, keep them buckets right above the ground. So I'm going to turn it around now, do it the right way, but I wanted to kind of give a visual. If you are maxing out your reach in each direction, you want to have your bucket above the ground. That way when you kind of tap out there, it's just bumping off the ground. It's not putting you over, and you're not panicking. I mean, as you can hear in my tone right there, if you run an excavator, you're about as used to it as driving a car. So now, because I don't have that centrifugal force, my machine doesn't move near as much. And the side swing goes faster, but in order to keep consistent, I think that a little slower is actually faster because I can hit that same hole just by muscle memory. And if you get really going back and forth, and you're maxing your swing out, you're going to constantly have to make adjustments back into your ditch or into your cut. And here we're actually taking this entire bank and re-sloping it. So we're working through ground that's sat here for years. We're working through new ground. We're working through ground that's never been touched. So it's a good combination of a little bit of all of it. And as I get in here closer to the machine, as you can see, it takes a lot of that bounce out of it, because with a 20-foot boom, there's a lot sticking out there. And I know some of that there wasn't a good visual because my camera guy's kind of behind me. Apparently he can't take a hit, but I'll dig here so that you guys can see, and then I'll just loop around this way. I mean, you would think at some point he'd come to the other side, but hey, I didn't draw a picture, so it's okay. I'm just kidding, guys. I like my guys. My guys work hard for us, and they're just trying to stay at a safe distance, but we'll just go around the back side of the machine. I got to fill in this end anyway, so again, not a big deal. We're going to do about 6-7 minutes of digging. That way, again, you can kind of listen to me and watch at the same time. So as I come here, I'm already only about a foot above the ground. As I start to come around the side, I lower my bucket. So I grab my bucket, and as I rotate here, I'm going to keep it maybe a foot, foot and a half, because worst case, if it does overweight the power of sitting stable or the ability to sit stable, I'm not going far. If I stick this thing way up in the air and I got a heck of a bucket on it, you got a whole bunch of weight sticking out there with this boom, and if you hit a ditch or a bump of any sort, and your blade's not planted, or you just make a mistake, I mean, it can make it for a scary ride. And even keeping it above the ground that little bit, the reason you do that is twofold. One, so if you do hit a bump and it knocks you over, you're not going far, but you're also not hitting anything. So I'm not dragging this against the ground and working my side swing motor like crazy. Like I said, this thing will make full buckets every time. I mean, that bucket probably weighs 12 to 1,500 pounds, believe it or not. Especially with clay and stone. You guys roll this in, and it's just rained here for 3 days straight. You look at the capacity of this bucket as I come around, and now just picture tractor weights. How many tractor weights do you think you can stack in that bucket? I bet that bucket, like I said, it's probably every bit of 12 to 1,500 pounds. And the machine's not grunting. Like I said before, we got plenty of horsepower in these. As long as you're smooth, they're smooth. So I'm just going to keep working my way around here, and I mean, you guys get the point. I'm going to try to take the blade and knock this big pile down. It's actually a little bit aggressive with an excavator. It's not like a dozer where all the weight is dispersed, and it's kind of just got a different setup, but a dozer's meant for pushing. Not that these can't push some, but they will not push as much as a dozer as far as capacity. So I'm going to take a corner of it first, then I'll spin around and see if I can't work a little bit more. Really wish you would come up here, honestly, though, so you guys can see the material and stuff. And all of our big machines, we try to at least put an hour on them. That way, those of you, you're spending a lot of money, you're putting your trust in us, you're going to see some marks in your bucket. You're going to see some marks in, your undercarriage. If you don't want us to, that's absolutely fine. Just let us know. We have customers all over the country, so for peace of mind, we like to run them about an hour. The small units, there's nothing really expensive on them. I mean, even the pumps are only $280 or something like that. So, worst case, if we're trying to figure those out, it's not a terrible situation, but these are bigger units or more expensive units, so we try to run them, make sure that if there's any flaws, we're trying to catch them before they head out into the world. And the other thing is, usually if something's going to break, it's going to do it in that first hour. If it's going to overheat, leak, whatever, it's going to, not always, obviously, things break throughout the course of using them, but the major obvious things, the things that piss you off when you get a new machine and you're like, how in the hell did they miss that? So now the smaller stuff, I'll be honest, there's some of that. We do assembly here. We're up to about 220 units a month, and we've added 3 more dealers this past month, and we've added 6 personnel, and that's just here at our place. I mean, we're actually here at my parents' place right now today just so we can test this unit out. But that's only about a quarter mile from our shop. So we do have one guy now that his job is to try to make sure he's catching as much small stuff even a light that doesn't work, a switch that doesn't work, but it's a lot of moving parts, and I don't care the brand. I mean, I got a Dodge van, and I know my Chevy and Ford people right now are going to say, well, there's your problem, but it is what it is. I don't care what brand you pick. There's ones that make it through. There's things that make it through. There's parts that just become an issue. Kubota's on their 4th revision when it comes to their fuel shutoff solenoids and their Kubota D722. If you look at them, they're made by Woodward, and Woodward got their contract. Kubota, and for the solenoids is what I'm talking about. So Kubota broke apart, oh shoot, I think it's 3 years ago now, and it's Kubota engine and Kubota sales. So now Kubota engine isn't all made in China or Japan anymore. They've kind of done like anybody else and everybody else. They said, hey, here's what we want you to build it for us. So they kind of tell folks here's what they're looking for, and then they put the contract out and see who can build their pieces and their parts. So anyway, Woodward is now on their 4th revision on their shutoff solenoid. We had a spell there where people were calling us saying the machine wouldn't start because the solenoid would not unlock. Well, they didn't know that, obviously, and because we're GroundHog and not Kubota, people automatically assume that it's a GroundHog problem, but in reality it was a Kubota issue, and we did figured out which revision was the good revision, and that's what we've been using. But I mean, there's another instance of name brand able to cut corners where those of us that aren't name brand yet, we can't cut corners, we can't piss people off. We do our damnedest to make sure everybody's happy, and not everybody's happy. We try to, if you look at everybody's reviews on us, and I don't know how many there are. Obviously, everybody that buys doesn't leave a review. The people that buy are busy, and they don't feel like taking the time to leave a review. But if you look at the reviews, most of it is not oriented towards, if we have a negative one, which I'll tell you which ones are a negative one. I had a guy stop in after hours, and we were not here because it was after hours. He drove through the gates, and there was no one there. So, that's one of the negative reviews. We are open 8 to 4:30, Monday to Friday, Saturday 9 to 1. Saturdays, I let my guys get a day off. I'm the only one here unless it's a very busy Saturday. So just something to keep in mind for those of you that are picking up. But for the rest of the reviews, most people are happy. If they did have an issue, we try to sort it out for them. And that's not many of our customers. And the majority are probably folks that are not mechanically inclined and able to figure much out, which is fine. I'm not putting them down. I'm just simply stating my Washington dealer got a hold of me one day and said, hey, Nick, I got a KH14G coming back. The guy said it turns over but doesn't start. And he's like, do you have any idea what it may be before he gets here? He goes, I want to take care of it as soon as he gets here. So I'm scratching my brain on this. And I said, Justin, there's not much. It's through them gas units. Again, it's a Briggs & Stratton. So it's not like they're not used in many other brands. I said, if it's a carburetor issue, maybe you just try cleaning the carb or something along them lines. Let's see what that does for you. Check the fuel filter. It only had like 12 hours on it. And so anyway, he calls me back about 45 minutes later. He goes, hey, Nick, we're good. I got that guy taken care of. I said, okay, well, just out of curiosity, what'd you find? And he said, well, it helps if they put gas in it. So again, that's fine. The guy loaded his machine up, brought it back to GroundHog there in Washington, and he was out of gas. So like I said, we get all kinds. We get all people that don't know stuff, and we try to walk everybody through. Ultimately, if someone can't figure it out, they do have to bring it back to a GroundHog dealer unless they want to pay road service, which I'll be very clear on that before you go with GroundHog. That is, like go with any other company. Unless it's something major, I have sent guys out. We've only had one major item where a coupler broke, where the coupler is between the engine and the pump. So when that happens, the machine's dead. Like the hydraulics don't do anything. And so the guy had about 30 some hours on the machine. And actually, if you go back to my BH70D videos, the one where I'm clearing the trees, that one is that exact unit, because what I did was I gave him another unit and brought that one back. So I ran that thing, we put the coupler in, got it running, got him switched around, and we ran that thing and never did anything wrong after that. Gave a guy a discount after that on buying the unit, and haven't heard anything bad. So couple stories while we had some time here today. Again, just doing a nice long video of operations. And once we get done with this video, we're going to do several others. But you guys heard me throughout the video here. We want to get you some operational videos of what they're capable of. That's hard stuff. I mean, that clay, that's big piles, big rocks, and as you can see, 12,000 pound unit, no issues, no grunts even. I walked you guys through as we're swinging, keep your buckets off the ground so they're not tilting chassis and stuff. So bunch of information there. This unit's missing the thumb only because we didn't get a chance to put it on yet. It does come with a thumb like all the other units. It's just we're not finished putting the unit together, but everything else has been done. The only thing we had to do was throw the thumb on yet. So I figured while working in the dirt, we were just going to take it down here, do some videos on operations. So there's a whole lot of info in that video. It's a long video. Those of you that stuck with me, I appreciate it. Everybody that watches us, we can't help but appreciate and thank every one of you. You're my customers. I appreciate and thank every one of you. We'll catch you on the next video, guys. If you're interested, give us a call at 570-765-9338. We'll see you later.